Yeah, that caring mindset and drive to put everything for your kids. Do you think you got that from your mom? I know at least when I was around your mom, she really gave 110% every time that I was over at your house. She would always make me feel welcome. The breakfast, you could smell it from upstairs. I still remember that. I still remember it, and it was. I mean, she was absolutely amazing. And even your sister, even though she hid in the room for a lot of time when I was there,
Yeah.
whenever I was there, she was so welcoming. Uh, do you think, some of that you kind of got from them?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? I think watching my dad, as a man and getting up, going to work, and sometimes coming home late and stuff, I understood why he was doing it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He had to provide for us. My mom, she also worked, so she was trying to provide and things like that. I got to experience a whole bunch of things as well. But I think for me, and I think differently. It's like for me, when you bring a child into this world, or your responsibility is to take care of somebody else, like that's almost your job. And you should get a pat on the back, you should get some recognition for it, but that's your job. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm trying to give my kids things that I didn't get. And I'm not talking about material things, because I feel like I was pretty good materially. I do believe that I was loved without a doubt. But I remember my dad sometimes taking out his bad days on me, my mom, and my sister. And I
Hmm.
vowed to never do that to my family. I remember going on trips with my mom, going to like Jamaica and stuff like that. Like we were all over the place. Like it was
Right.
fabulous. But then when she's trying to figure out where we need to go, she gets snappy. And it's like, I get it. I'm not trying to condemn them. They were great parents. But at the end of the day, it's like, I remember how I felt when I was like, okay, I didn't even do anything. And you're snapping at me because you're trying to figure out where we're going and you don't know where we're going. And I'm not mad at you. My sister's not mad at you, but it's like you're mad at yourself and you want to take it out on me. And like, that's not okay. So I want to make sure that I never do that to my kids. I want to make sure that my kids always know that they can talk to me and I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to tell them that they're wrong or that they're stupid. I'm actually going to listen. And then I'm going to tell them where I think they need to go, what decisions I think they need to make. And I'm going to give them evidence to why I feel like they should do that. Instead of just do it this way, do it that way. Because when my dad tried to do that with me, it didn't work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It didn't work. And I lived with him until like my early 20s. And like it never worked. And it's like looking back on it, and I know he worked a lot, and I know he had stresses in life, and he had, things he had to deal with and stuff like that. But it's like at the end of the day, don't you as a father want to leave the door open for communication, right?
Yeah.
Because if your kid doesn't want to talk to you, they're not going to talk to you. They are a human being. You know what I mean? Like they are a human being. So if you don't open up the lines of communication and keep them open by listening and not just cutting your kid off, telling them that they're stupid and stuff like that, then I think you're gonna have a successful family life and marriage. Because I remember my guidance counselor back in high school telling me that my dad is worried because I don't talk to him. And I'm thinking, he don't talk to me. And when
Right.
I am trying to talk to him, he's too worried about what's going on. Like a yeller at the TV when it's news. I ain't talking like a sports game. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about
Your
like the
dad,
A's.
your dad was terrifying. I'm just
I'm
gonna say
telling you.
that.
I'm
Your
telling
dad was
you.
terrifying.
And I understand, who he was in the time frame that he grew up in this country, and he had to make his own way. He went to college in New York and then went to like a master's program at Stanford as a black man. That's pretty impressive. So I'm not
Yes.
knocking him at all. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But it's like at the end of the day, you also have to kind of adjust your thinking to your kids' thinking, because they're not going to think like how you think. They're going to grow up in a new generation with new things. So it's like when you're yelling at the TV and I'm trying to talk to you, I get that what's on the TV is important, but maybe what I'm saying is a little bit more important. Because I'm pretty sure whatever's on the news stations, also in the newspaper, also going to be on
Right.
some news column and stuff like that. Like pause it. And today we could pause TV and whatever. But it's like really like just give me 5 minutes, because then that happens because I can see it from the other side. I
Right.
can connect the dots from the other side. It's like, no, I tried to talk to you, you shut me down. Ninth grade,
Right.
10th grade, 11th grade, now 12th grade. And I'm like, well, forget it. I'm out here on my own, so I'm gonna act like I'm on my own. And then you get into my guidance counselor. I don't talk to you and like, oh, well, yeah, that's true, but I've tried. Have you tried? So I always remember that. So this to answer your question is like, yes, my parents, they taught me well. They taught me good. They love me. They nurture me. But I also learn from their mistakes. And I think that's what all humans can do in any situation.
100%. It's crazy when the older we get, the more we kind of understand our parents' perspective. You know, you mentioned your dad and your mom. Your dad was a yeller for sure. And he
for sure.
for sure. You know, I mean, when I still remember we were wrestling in your, I think I choke slammed you or something and broke some type of light.
Yeah.
Yep, a light fixture and left the country. Left the country, didn't want to deal with it. No, you know, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. That's kind of an exaggeration, but yeah, I mean, you know, as I said, you know, the older you get, the more you realize the difficulties that your parents went through, the struggles that they went through, but also some of the things you can learn and bring to your kids as well, because now you're like, okay, so this is how I felt when my mom did this to me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do this differently.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.